Hi, I'm Rick Kaler. Thanks for joining me. Preparing for an unanticipated and unforeseen financial disaster might seem like an oxymoron. How can you possibly prepare for something that's unknown? Well, you can, as long as you remember that the only thing that's really unknown about most potential financial calamities is the timing of the calamity. We know perfectly well we're likely to have emergencies. We just don't know exactly when or what they're going to be. They may take the form of expensive car repairs or trips to the emergency room, the loss of a job, or a significant investment loss. The question really isn't if, it's really when. So here's 4 tips on preparing for the inevitability of a financial calamity. First, get out of debt now. Since most financial disasters have a lack of cash flow at their core, existing debt payments will only multiply your financial distress. The double whammy of a financial catastrophe is not being able to make your debt payments and adding the trauma of a home foreclosure or a vehicle repossession or running your credit rating into the ground when you can at least afford to. In addition, one option in a financial calamity is borrowing the needed funds to get you through to the other side. If you already are heavily in debt going into the crisis, it's highly unlikely you're going to be able to borrow more just at the time you might really need to be doing so. Next, build an emergency reserve and leave it alone. Based on the high unemployment the last 3 years, I really shouldn't have to build a case for having 6 to 12 months of household expenses in a reserve account. No matter how secure you think that your job is, or how much you hate having money sitting in a money market account doing nothing, you need an emergency reserve. This is not an investment. It's insurance against inevitable financial calamities. Also, never raid your emergency reserve for unplanned lifestyle expenses. Vacations, Christmas, taxes, new cars are not emergencies. You need a separate savings account for these anticipated expenses where we just don't know when they are going to occur. Next, insure yourself against the unknown. Insurance is one of the most efficient tools you can use to protect yourself from a financial calamity. You need adequate auto, renters, and homeowners insurance. It's a must. If you have young children, you need a minimum of $500,000 of life insurance on both working and stay-at-home parents. Younger people also have a greater chance of becoming disabled rather than dying, so adequate long-term disability covering 2 or 3 years of income is really important. Having the right insurance is important as well. I don't recommend cancer insurance or flight insurance or credit life insurance. They're expensive and largely unneeded, especially if you have your base insurance needs covered. Next, diversify your investments among asset classes. The best insurance you can have against inevitable economic plunges is to own some of what's going down and some of what is inevitably going up. While getting out of the market prior to a downturn and buying back in at the bottom is a great thing to do, totally logical, believing you can execute that strategy is completely insane. Diversification doesn't mean owning different types of stock funds or from different companies or buying from different investment brokers. It means having lots of asset classes in your portfolio like global stocks, global bonds, real estate, commodities, TIPS bonds, alternative investments, managed futures, asset classes such as these. The easiest way to start building a diversified portfolio is to find a diversified mutual fund that will do this for you. Now, not every mutual fund is going to have all the asset classes I would prefer to see, but you can't go too far wrong using something like First Eagle Global or American Capital Income Builder that are what we call asset allocation funds. Typically, they'll have at least 4 or 5 different asset classes in their fund. So protecting yourself with these 4 strategies can ease your fears about what financial calamities may happen. And you'll know that whenever they do happen, at least you're going to be better prepared. Thanks for listening.